Welcome to Spoken Injustice, where we put the criminal justice system in the dock. Today's video is part of our news session, which features Michael Stone and Andrew Malkinson. Is there any hope for Mr. Stone to have his conviction overturned? And what happened to Mr. Malkinson's inquiry? Follow us until the end to find out more. Starting with Mr. Stone, we were surprised to see a press release by the CCRC dated the 3rd of October 2023, in which the following statement was released. Michael Stone's murder convictions will be reviewed again by the CCRC following a request from his representatives. In our video, The Case of Michael Stone CCRC Application Rejected, which you can find linked in the description below, we mentioned that on the 13th of July 2023, the CCRC rejected Mr. Stone's application to refer his case to the Court of Appeal. In that video, we did query whether the CCRC had conducted all possible DNA testing. We were led to believe so, as the CCRC statement of the 13th of July 2023 expressly stated that forensic tests were carried out. However, it appears that this was not the case. According to an article on Furnival Chambers news feeds, dated 18th of September 2023, Michael Stone's barrister, Mark MacDonald, was demanding a judicial review to challenge the CCRC's refusal to refer Stone's convictions to the Court of Appeal. The Furnival Chambers article refers to an earlier article from the Mirror dated the 11th of September 2023, which gives a more detailed background. It states, Mr. MacDonald told the Mirror, the CCRC have said they will not be doing any further DNA testing. We are issuing a letter to force them to do testing that they haven't done. There were broken strands of DNA found at the scene which did not belong to the family and did not belong to Michael Stone. It is that we want testing. No forensic link has ever been established between ex-heroin addict Stone and the murder scene, the Mirror continues. In a written confession, Belfield, 55, claimed he used the lace to tie up Lynn's hands before the savage attack on the mother and her daughters. Stone's legal team said that special DNA testing techniques, known as YSTR, could prove Belfield was responsible. The move comes as interviews with Stone from his prison cell in HMP Frankland are due to be aired in a Sky documentary, The Russell Murders Who Killed Lynn and Megan. The documentary has now been aired, and Mr. Stone is heard saying to Mr. MacDonald over the telephone that the fact that the Russells think that he is responsible for the crimes tears him apart. This is in stark contrast to the man who for decades has been described by the media as a psychopath and evil. As per the CCRC application, it is presumably this more specific DNA request that must have led the CCRC to announce the further review. The press release from the CCRC, however, does not go into any details and simply states the CCRC's previous reviews found no credible evidence or argument that raised a real possibility of the conviction being quashed. These conclusions are not affected by the new review. While we can't comment on the specifics of an investigation, it is not unusual for different reviews to focus on different arguments or evidence. We will certainly keep you updated. As per Mr. Markinson, is there any update into his inquiry? Well, before going into the details, if you're finding this video useful, please like it and consider subscribing to this channel if you want us to bring to you the latest news into the often ignored issue of wrongful convictions. IOPC, the Independent Office for Police Conduct, announced on the 13th of September 2023 that it has begun an investigation as a result of its review into the way Greater Manchester Police handled complaints from Andrew Markinson's legal team. They have clarified the scope of their investigation by adding, "Our investigation, which will be carried out independent of the police, will focus on the specific allegations raised in Mr. Markinson's complaints. We are not reviewing the original criminal investigation, nor do we have the power to do so." They have also made clear that they are liaising with the government in relation to the inquiry into the wrongful conviction, stating, "We will continue to work with the chair and inquiry team so that our work and theirs is aligned to ensure that the actions of GMP are fully examined." In the meantime, Mr. Markinson and Appeal, the charity that helped him in overturning the conviction, have reiterated demands made previously by Hickman and Rose that the inquiry be made statutory. According to Manchester Evening News, in an article published on the 18th of October 2023, Emily Bolton of Appeal said, "We are calling on the Lord Chancellor to put this inquiry on a statutory basis so that it has the power needed to get Andy all the answers it deserves." On 26th of October 2023, the Ministry of Justice revealed in a press release that leading criminal judge Sarah Morrow KC had been appointed to chair the inquiry. It also reiterated that it was not necessary to put the inquiry on a statutory footing at this time. Non-statutory inquiries give greater flexibility to the chair and are generally concluded faster than statutory inquiries, providing Mr. Markinson and the original victim the answers they deserve as quickly as possible. The press release also confirms that Greater Manchester Police, the Crown Prosecution Service and the Criminal Cases Review Commission have pledged their full cooperation to the inquiry. As per the terms of reference, the press release states, "The inquiry will establish the course of events from the date of the offence to Andrew Markinson's exoneration by the Court of Appeal, decisions made and actions taken by individuals in the main agencies involved, as well as the procedures in place within those agencies, including approval of decisions." In the meantime, on the 19th of October 2023, the CCRC issued the following press release about the independent review into the Criminal Cases Review Commission's investigations into Andrew Markinson's convictions. the report of which was expected by the 24th of October. Due to the complexity of the case and some review materials still awaiting receipt, Mr. Henley has said that completion by the original date will not be possible. Mr. Henley has been granted full access to the CCRC's records on each of the investigations, and all staff and commissioners still in post are available to contribute to the review. Materials still awaiting receipt include additional documents to those already supplied by Greater Manchester Police and further submissions Mr. Markinson's representatives have requested to submit. The CCRC will share the full report with the Lord Chancellor's office, and the findings will be made public within legislative constraints. The CCRC expects the review to be completed this calendar year. No date for publication has been set. All of the above is happening whilst The Guardian revealed in an article released on the 18th of October 2023 that Mr. Markinson's home is now a compact grey and orange tent, his one concession to luxury, uninflatable airbed. He is subsisting on very little, knowing it is likely to be 2 years before he sees any compensation because he's planning a civil claim. He said to The Guardian, "You need financial freedom to be truly free, don't you? And I don't have that. It's a tough time because there is so much uncertainty. I'm living in a tent. I'm living on benefits. I want some resolution." This is sadly the human side of wrongful convictions, and we are grateful to Mr. Markinson for being a witness to it. To address the human aspect of wrongful convictions, it is essential to provide prompt support for exonerees to facilitate their reintegration into society, rather than delaying it until lengthy reviews, inquiries, and compensation processes are completed. This concludes our news session. I hope you found this video interesting, and if so, please like it and consider subscribing to our channel so that we can bring you the human side of wrongful convictions. Also, join our networking hub at spokeninjustice.net to have your say as to the future content of this channel. Join us again. We look forward to usher you as we sit and rise in this unique trial.